Alright people, so before I turn around, I just gotta warn you guys, I have project upon project upon project going on here today. It is middle of September, and as you can see, we have fall color, and we've lost a lot of the leaves already. I'll tip it up so you can see that. And this morning it was right around probably 35 degrees, but we live in the hill country, so our temperatures are about 10 degrees warmer than down in Fairbanks. So they were probably close to 25 this morning. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you guys what I have going on. It is a work in progress, and I'm trying to get it closed up before winter. But just as a little bit of a peek into what my life is before winter, so I've got a bunch of projects going. Recently bought an airplane, and I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. But I also have a car that the back window was broken on. Somebody broke into our car and took a box of arrows out that I was going to use, but that's replaceable, but I have to get that fixed still. This airplane is pretty much completely disassembled and it needs a paint job, so that's my winter project. I am working on adding a garage onto the back of our house. It was originally timber framed, and I'm framing it in just so I can put metal on and windows, not structural walls. I have a four-wheeler that I need to buy parts for so that I can fix it up so that it can be operational for our property. I have a snow machine that I need to fix up so that I can sell it and make some money so that I can put parts into my airplane. I have one generator that's down and one generator that works, except the drawstring recently popped off. I can still use it, but I gotta fix that. Oh yeah, and then recently we had a young guy flying up the road on his dirt bike and accidentally hit our truck. So I have a back corner panel that needs work, and we're figuring that out right now. So anyway, all that's a disclaimer. I have more projects than that too, but now I'll turn around and I'll let you guys see what I have going on. So just turning this way, you can see I have built a garage off the back of our tiny house, which you can see there. All the windows that you see in this garage, I have 4 windows. They all actually came from the local drop-in shop, which is basically people drop things there that they are no longer using and might be valuable for other people to use. So I've got all the windows for free. You can see they're decent windows. One's a triple pane, the rest of them are double pane. This is my airplane right here. This is a maule M4. I bought it for a sixth of its value because it's a project, and I'm hoping to be able to get it fixed up this winter. You can see the wings are stacked on top of it. I have an engine in the back. You can see the cowling for the engine right there. This needs a completely new paint job. All the interior has to be put in. A lot of sheet metal work needs to be done on it. And all rigging must be done. Engine hasn't run for a number of years, so that's going to be adventurous to figure that out. And it needs, you can see it's just fabric. It's pink right now, which means that it has not been UV coated. So I need to UV coat it before I put paint on it. There's all the major parts are there, but it's missing almost all the hardware. So I need to purchase hardware and things that are called Clecos. I do not have Clecos. I need to purchase those so that I can attach the aluminum for this boot cowl temporarily. It holds it in place. It's basically like if you're doing construction, you'll put just a hold screw in, just whoop, stick it in real quick, and then that'll hold it, and then you can, line it up better, whatever. Well, Clecos, you drill all your holes in your aluminum, and then you put your Clecos in, and that holds it in place, and then you come with your rivet gun, and you can rivet it all together. Well, I don't have Clecos. So I've got to get that, and they're somewhat expensive. So that's my airplane project. You can see, if you look at the ground, I do not have a concrete floor. I'm not in a financial position to do that this year. So I don't want to put something in and then have to tear it out to put a good concrete floor within floor heating, which is what I want. I'm not going to put something in to tear it back out. So right now I'm just leveling it out with dirt that I have, and then I'm putting a drainage around the outside. And that should get me through the winter. I did have a friend that is giving me some high pressure foam insulation that I'm going to put on the floor, so it'll help hold some heat. I also have a bunch of insulation, fiberglass insulation that I'm going to put in the walls, and then I'll put a Visqueen vapor barrier on the inside, so that holds the cold air out. And it's just it's amazing how much it does. It's really amazing how much that does. But anyway, so you can see everything was timber framed, and the reason I did that was prices on lumber this year was crazy. If I built our house this year compared to last year, it would have cost us four times as much, at least. Everything was timber framed. This all came off of our property, which I'll kind of turn this way. You can see we have a bunch of birch, but about 200 yards back, it turns into some spruce trees. So I harvested spruce trees, and then we peeled the bark off of it for the most part. Some of them I didn't. And then when my father-in-law was here, he helped me frame all this with the timber, except for some of the joists. Then I finished that, and the rest of it, you can see there's like some 2x4 type stuff. That's actually all stuff that I found at the dump. There was a building project apparently, and you can see here I just cut down, it was a 2x8, and I cut it down. And there's just one way. It was a decent, they were all decent pieces of wood. They just didn't look good anymore, and they're still structurally decent. And also my walls are not structural because it's timber framed, so it's one thing that I save money on. So the metal, I got all that at a discounted price because Home Depot was discontinuing that metal supplier, so they're selling all that off. So overall, this garage so far has cost me about $1,300. So I'm trying to piece it all together. The airplane itself, that cost me $10,000, and my hope is to get that fixed up before spring of next year, because next year I'm going to be, hopefully, I'm going to be flying out to McGrath a lot, helping out the team in McGrath, doing ministry work out there. They have acquired a lodge, and they're using that for just to bring the community in. In McGrath, there is no restaurant that does not have alcohol as one of its main points. And so their goal is to basically create a neutral area where people can come and fellowship with each other, get to know the Christians in the community, and that the gospel of Jesus Christ can be shared. My plan is to go down, help them with some of their building needs, and also some of their small engine and car mechanics. And using the airplane, I can be mobile and safer, and if I'm flying enough, it'll be less expensive. So Maule M4, a little bit of information on that. It was built by a man by the name of Maule, and he actually designed, I believe, the Super Cub and the Pacer from Piper, and he utilized a lot of the information that he had from that in his Maule builds. And Maule has since become one of the better known backwoods airplanes, short takeoff and landing capabilities, and it also hauls a fair amount of load. Also has big tanks, so you can travel a long distance. This airplane has a 145 horsepower engine. There are upgrades that can be made, which would mean that I could get off the ground in a shorter distance, but also it does use more fuel, so it wouldn't be quite as economical. But if I need to get into shorter strips and get out of them, that would be an upgrade that I'd want to make. Other upgrades that I'd like to do, I'd like to put a new set of tires on it, and the tires are worn out. It needs new tire rims. It needs new brake system. It needs new propeller. There was not a prop strike on it, which is good. It just did not come with propeller, so I need to get a new one of those. So that's basically where I'm at with that. I'm trying to close in my garage before winter starts, and you can see I've got one open wall here. I've got a window that's going to go in up there. You can see if I step out far enough, all that lumber that's on the front. It's a little bit artistic. I got that at the dump too. So I'm trying to make the most use of what I can get for free. House is staying strong. We had a earthquake a couple of nights ago. It was a 0.5, or it was a 5 earthquake, so it was rated at a 5, at least in North Pole. And Addie had just canned the night before, and we could hear like all the cans rattling against each other. So anyway, just interesting things that happen here in Alaska. But yeah, I've got stuff stashed everywhere. It looks like an absolute mess around here. I'm just trying to piece everything together. Got firewood for the winter. I'm still processing some of that. We're going to go through probably 3 to 4 cord this winter. And right now I have right around 2.5, 3 that's split. And I just want to make sure that I have some buffer there. Trying to think what else is going on. Currently I am, oh yeah, that's some new information. So currently I'm working for a friend that has a construction business. And the reason that I'm doing that, and I want you guys to hear me out on this, is I want all, there are people that are giving to ministry to help Addie and I to be able to be free to do ministry. And this winter, my goal is that everything that is given from ministry goes to this airplane, so that next year, that airplane's flying. If Addie and I live off of that ministry money, that airplane's not going to be flying. And the way that I looked at it was, hey, I got 2 options. I can either go back to the lower 48. I can talk to churches. I can raise support. Meanwhile, nothing's getting done up here. My house isn't getting buttoned up. My airplane isn't getting worked on. Ministry that I would be able to do, I'm not doing. And I might get stuck in the lower 48 with what Biden is trying to do with vaccine mandates. So I decided I'm going to work hard. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to come home and try to button up my house, get it ready for the winter, and split wood, track down parts if I have the money for it. And so that's what I'm doing. That's really what I'm doing. And I want to continue to go along that way. Really, the ministry. Oh, my pet bird is here. Oh, I just flew away. I've been sharing my breakfast with him in the mornings. He actually landed on my head the other day. Anyway, where was I? I forget where I was. Oh, I was talking about support and things like that. But we are really trying to stay providing for our physical needs, and all the money that is given to us goes toward ministry. That's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I think is adequate for what we're doing. We are helping missionaries. We do share the gospel on occasion when those opportunities arise. I had that opportunity lately. Just an opportunity to show grace and share why I showed it. And I'm trusting the Lord with that too. So, not to ramble, but that's what I've got going on. My place looks like a mess right now, but we're just trying to get things buttoned up before winter. Appreciate your prayers. Addie right now is doing a doula course inside the house, so she's really enjoying that. And also, as a birth assistant, she has landed a pretty decent opportunity with a midwife that she could be working pretty consistently with. And that would be 2 births a month, and then also starting a birthing center. So that's a really good opportunity for Addie this winter, and then also in the next summer. So, yeah, appreciate your prayers. Like I said, I've got a lot of stuff to work on, and winter's coming really fast. I anticipate we have 2 more weeks of this type of weather, and then we're going to get snow. So, yeah. As far as hunting goes, I know a lot of you guys are hunters, and you know that I'm a hunter too. I killed a really big bear this summer, and it's moose season right now. I was actually out here at 7 o'clock last week reading my Bible, and a bull moose walked in literally 30 yards behind me, and it is bow season. Did not have my bow with me. But we have a full freezer right now. And just as a steward of what God's given me, I'm not really pursuing hunting all that much. I've got work that I need to do, and I'm trying to get that done. So that's where hunting's at. Yes, it is possible that I will go out and try to kill a bull at some point, but I've got a lot of stuff to do right now. So anyway, so that's a brief update on my part. I say brief, it's been 17 minutes, but that's an update. Appreciate your prayers. Yeah.